Welcome to episode 5 of Midweek Mead Geek. We always say that mead is the oldest alcobev known to mankind, and a rich history of this is available in ancient Indian medicine, also known as Ayurveda. That is the reason we were very happy to interview our guests in this episode, who are two very credible and incredible women with their doctorates in Ayurveda. The conversation that transpired was so interesting that we decided to give everything to you unedited, but we are dividing it into 3 episodes. Today's episode is an introduction. The description of the work that our guests have done in Ayurveda is given below. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hi everyone. In the previous episodes, we have talked only to people from the industry about their mead making journey, how they got into mead making and how they evolved as mead makers. But today we are going off the beaten path a little. Today we are going to talk to two very credible women who have mastery on ancient Indian medicine, aka Ayurveda. I welcome Dr. Swati Gadgil and Dr. Poonam Gupte in today's episode. And I feel very privileged and honored to talk to these two ladies about the mysterious ancient Indian medicine which is Ayurveda. And today there is definitely going to be some myth busting and making ourselves familiar with what role alcohol played in ancient Indian medicine and how it stands today as per the modern research standards. So that is what we are going to talk to these two ladies about today. I would like to take a little more deep dive into you two as people who are interested in this particular branch of research, which pertains to role of alcohol in Ayurveda as a medicine. So can we start with you, Dr. Gadgil?
Thank you. I have guided more than 15 PG students during my career, and 2 to 3 students worked with fermented products from Ayurveda, which is called as Madhya. Madhya is the Sanskrit terminology used for alcohol in Ayurveda. One of my students worked with Swarna Saraswatarishta, which is called as Medhya Rasayan. That is, it promotes intellect. It is good for insomnia and so on and so forth. So she worked in patients in aged patients, and she studied the comparative efficacy of plain Saraswatarishta as that to Swarna Saraswatarishta. So Swarna, that is gold, is one of the ingredient of Saraswatarishta, and it is added during its preparation period,
which is alcoholic fermentation.
Yeah. Saraswatarishta, I have that sample also. Oh, wow. This is Swarna Saraswatarishta sample. And she worked in aging people, and she evaluated the effect of both of the drugs on their memory, because senile dementia is a very big problem and challenge in coming days, and Saraswatarishta can prove a best medicine or better solution on senile dementia.
I would like to again take us back to the word Madhya that you used. Madhya means alcoholic, consumable, like an alcoholic drink is easy to say. So Madhya, Madhu, mead, all of these words always, I find that there is always a common etymological origin for all of these things. So there is, in my mind, in the research that I have done, a lot of knowledge got lost during encroachments in the Indian subcontinent, and the people who are studying Ayurveda right now are kind of trying to recreate the lost knowledge from bits and pieces that are left. So a lot of hypotheses still need to be proved, and that is where you guys come into picture, and it really excites me to talk about all these things with you. So again, taking us back to the Madhya bit of it, that connect with honey is definitely there. Madhu, Madhya, Madira, Mead, Medu, all of these words are connected. And so the Swarna Saraswatarishta, as by default, does Arishta have alcohol in it?
Absolutely, yeah.
By default, as a definition, if you are talking about any Arishta, it will have alcohol in it, which is self-generated, not added.
Yes, actually, mead, for mead, there are 2 or 3 Sanskrit words which are used in Ayurvedic texts. One is Madhvika, Madhavika, that is one which is prepared from madhu. Madhu is a Sanskrit word for honey, and Madhavika is the fermented preparation which is prepared using honey.
Alcoholic fermented preparation.
Alcoholic fermented preparation, as well as Madhava is also, the term Madhava is also used for the alcoholic fermented preparation prepared from honey. So these two words are there, and actually Madhava, Madhavika are supposed to be consumed as a dietary part. We have dinacharya, which is called as daily regime. We have rutucharya, and these two seasonal regime. These two are the integral parts of our health maintenance. We call it as swastha vritta, to keep a healthy person healthy. So one who wants to remain swastha or healthy for the whole long year,
For longevity.
he or she has to follow dinacharya and rutucharya. And mead or madhavika is one of the drink, alcoholic fermented drink, which is recommended to be consumed in Hemanta and Vasanta Rutu. Vasanta is spring, and Hemanta you can say that November, December months.
This is very interesting. This is very interesting because see, every time we talk about Western culture versus Indian culture, we always say that wine is a part of the routine in their culture. But this is something which is really fascinating to me. We have for so many, I think, centuries have looked down upon alcohol as something that is bad. And because we have done that, it has become a taboo that people have gravitated towards in a bad way. If we kept our minds open, probably we will be able to use alcohol to our benefit rather than to our ruin. And moving on to Dr. Poonam, what is your interest in specifically alcoholic preparations from honey?
Alcoholic preparations from honey, I would say, as described earlier, I work in the area of obesity and diabetes. And obesity and diabetes, as you all know, as for Ayurveda, these are kapha prakopaj rogas. So three doshic entities, as I said, vata, pitta and kapha. So kapha dosha is very much specific, and there are three pacifying agents described in Ayurveda which alleviate these three doshas. And madhu or honey is very much specific, the most apt pacifying agent for kapha dosha. Being in the area of obesity, diabetes, which are kapha prakopaj rogas or kapha doshaj rogas, madhu automatically gained momentum in my mind, wherein it triggered something that if we want to alleviate kapha dosh or work on obesity and diabetes, this dosha can be tackled with madhu. And coming to this particular formulation or dosage form, that is asav, arishta or madhya, what we say, alcoholic fermented preparation. So it has an enhanced efficacy, it has a long shelf life. Even in a small dose, it works wonders and can help to alleviate the doshas, entities or in the body. Honey and the combination of asav, that is alcoholic preparation of honey. So it was more apt for my area.
Just to dig a little deeper before we move on to our next question, diabetes, people immediately correlate it with sugar. Okay, sugar, diabetic people are not supposed to have sugar, and you are thinking of introducing honey in the remedy of that, which is largely sugar. Is that why you thought of fermenting it to remove that sugar component from it? Is it why that thought crossed your mind?
When fermented preparations are used, or it acts, it has a good targeted action and early targeted action. But madhu, if we say, even if we say that madhu is a sweet agent, and how can it be used in diabetes? But it is a very much recommended entity or component which has been described in Ayurveda in the treatment of diabetes. Actually, in Ayurveda, there are these asav formulations which have been described. Madhvasav, there is a formulation named Madhvasav which has been described. Madhvasau, as the name suggests, a fermented preparation which has an maximum quantity of madhu or honey in it. Madhvasau Madhvasau is also called Lodhrasau in Ayurveda, if in this particular topic, wherein madhu, of course, honey is there in the maximum quantity, and there are other n number of herbs in this formulation which have been used. So it has been very much recommended uh, in the treatment of diabetes.
It's very fascinating because as per modern medicine, which we call allopathy otherwise, alcohol and sugar are both a big no-no for treating diabetes, people who have diabetes or who have a diabetic condition. And in Ayurveda, you are trying to do something which is rather a counter indication in allopathy. So wish you all the best for your research, and I am hoping something really fascinating comes out of it.
I would like to add a Sanskrit verse in this. There is a verse from Ayurveda, Sthula nam tu madhudakam. So for obesity or for sthul people, madhudaka, that is honey mixed with water, madhudaka is the medicine.
It's really great. Does it also say fermented?
Actually not, but during the enlisting the treatment for prameha we can correlate prameha to diabetes. In Ayurveda, the disease name is prameha, which can be correlated with diabetes. Or if prameha is there for more than 1 year, it converts into madhumeha. And for prameha chikitsa, beverages that pramehi should consume includes Madhvika as one of the beverage.
All these things are mentioned in all these ancient texts. And now with modern medicine, people question the validity of these solutions to your health problems. Now, if we go to see logically, rationally, the kind of lifestyle that people had when these were medicines for those problems and the kind of lifestyle that we have now, it's drastic difference. With that, fortunately, allopathy has progressed and Ayurveda needs to catch up a lot. So people like you, I have tremendous respect, who are trying to bridge that gap of great knowledge bank to bits and pieces where we only extrapolate and we hypothesize and theorize without any actual hands-on clinical data in hand.
During clinical trial of Saraswatarishta and Swarna Saraswatarishta, we also, the sample size was very limited, it was 24, but among 24 aged people, almost 20 people are having BSL higher than the limit. That means they were diabetic. They were diabetic. We did their random blood sugar level before starting our medicine. And after completion, that is after 1 month, we again did their BSL, and there was not a single difference in the BSL. Swarna Saraswatarishta, by the way, has ample of sugar.
So what is the alcohol percent in this by volume?
Generally, alcohol percent in Ayurvedic preparations do not exceed 13 to 14. Rather, I'll say 12 to 13 only. It generally do not exceed. The reason behind this could be all these preparations have almost 60 to 70% of madhur dravya, that is sweetening agent. We call it madhur at the start. We call it as madhur dravya. 3 of the variety of madhur dravyas we use. One is sugar, second is jaggery, and third is honey. There can be individual ingredients or then can be a combined ingredients, mix and match. But the percentage of madhura dravya is almost around 60 to 70% during.
And then as it ferments into alcohol, obviously the sugar content drops.
Yes.
I love that introduction. It has actually taken care of so many questions that I have in my list. So let us move on to the second very crucial, very important question in this list. General notion in Indian culture now is that alcohol is bad. We just touched upon that point. But a little more on that. What does Ayurveda have to say about it?